lesson is introducing yourself. Donc, la leçon d'aujourd'hui, c'est apprendre à se présenter. So, as you meet someone, the first thing when you start speaking a language, the first thing you learn how to do is to speak, is to introduce yourself, right? The first thing you do in a conversation when you meet a stranger is that you introduce yourself. And so that's why I thought that this would be the best first lesson for us to have so that we can all learn together the best ways to introduce ourselves. That's why in the group also, I ask you guys to introduce yourself. Every time there's a new person, I say, please, can you introduce yourself? Because it's really important. It's really important. After this lesson, the aim is that you should be able to greet people in different ways. You should be able to use various expressions to talk about yourself. You should be able to confidently introduce yourself to anybody you meet who speaks English. And also, you should be able to deliver an elevator pitch. So that's what we're going to learn today. Je vais juste le dire en français pour qu'on puisse tous être sur la même longueur d'onde. La leçon d'aujourd'hui est censée vous apprendre à vous présenter. Vous devez pouvoir, après cette leçon, savoir comment saluer, comment dire bonjour en anglais, quelles sont les différentes expressions que vous devez utiliser pour apprendre à vous présenter, afin que vous puissiez le faire avec confiance. Et aussi, on va étudier quelque chose qui s'appelle le elevator pitch, qu'on verra un peu vers la fin de la leçon. Okay. Slow. So the first thing is greetings. When you meet someone for the first time, obviously you have to greet the person, right? It's the same in French. Quand on rencontre quelqu'un, la première chose c'est de saluer, c'est de dire bonjour. So in English, as you may already know, there are different ways of greeting. It depends on the situation, whether you're in a formal setting, you will greet someone differently than if it's in a casual setting. So if you're meeting friends out for a drink, you'll greet them differently than if you're meeting an executive at work, or you're in a business meeting, for example, with someone, your greeting has to be more formal. So the general ways in which we greet that we all know is saying hello, saying good morning, good day. And then at the bottom there, it's more formal ways of saying just hey, or you say hi. It's with, like I said, in a setting where it's less formal. If it's less formal, if it's less serious, you can say things like hi, you can say hey. The greetings in English, as we know, are also time specific. So the way in which you greet someone in the morning is not the same as you greet in the afternoon or at night. And we all know this, we've learned this in school. In the morning, you say good morning. In the afternoon, you say good afternoon. And it's really important to always be aware that, for example, if you're speaking over the phone with someone who's far away, it might be the morning where they are, and where you are, it's the afternoon. So just be aware when you're not sure, or if you're sending an email, for example, if you're not sure that this person is going to receive your email in the morning or is going to open your email in the morning, stay away from time specific. Just say something like good morning or good day, because good morning is all throughout the day. So don't say things like good afternoon or good night if you're not sure at what time of the day it is going to be. And then there are other specific ways of greeting someone that can be depending on the culture. For example, howdy. I don't know if you've ever heard this. This is a way of greeting in Texas, for example. So cowboys and people of that culture, they don't just say hello or good morning, they say howdy. That's how they greet each other. You also have ways of greeting. For example, in the UK, I know they have this funny expression, they say top of the morning to you. So instead of good morning, they'll say top of the morning to you. So these are just, it's the same, it means the same thing as good morning. It's just that depending on where you are, depending on the culture, they would greet you differently. And so it's important that you're aware of all these things, that you are not stuck when someone says such an expression to you, but also for you to expand your vocabulary and be confident in greeting people anywhere. Another thing I wanted to add here is one thing I've noticed also with English speakers is usually, and you will notice that as well as you start speaking more fluently and exchanging with them, usually they don't respond with the same greeting that you greet them. So for example, if you meet someone and you say hello, the person would probably say hi. They won't say hello back. Or if you say, oh, good morning, sir, they'll say hello. So they'll respond always with a different one, which is why it's important for you to know more than one so that you can also play around with it. So you need to not be stuck to only using one way of greeting or only using one expression. You need to be familiar with many expressions. Some people just say, how's it? Technically, they're asking you how you are, but it's a way of saying hello. It's a way of greeting you. So that's it with the greetings. The next step, this thing is slow. Okay, there we are. So the next step is useful expressions. So once you introduce yourself, you will need to tell the person more about yourself, right? So you'll need to tell them your name, where you live, if you're a student, where you're studying. If you are working somewhere, you need to tell them where you're working at and what the job that you do is, where you're from, things like that. So these are also expressions that you need to be familiar with. And again, like I said, you need to have more than just one expression in your bag. You need to be familiar with many so that, let's say you are attending an event and you meet 2 people or 3 people, you're not going to say the exact same thing to every single person. You need to be able to switch it up, to change the way you greet them. So you'll say hello to the first person, my name is Dora, and then you start talking. And then someone else comes and joins into that conversation. You're not going to say again, hello, my name is Dora, because then it's going to sound repetitive, right? So to this person, then you'll be like, hi, thank you for joining us. They call me Dora. So it's the same thing again. It's the same way of just saying what your name is, but just changing expressions. So I'm going to switch to French for a second just to make sure that everybody is on board. Donc, ce que j'explique en fait, c'est que c'est très important de connaître plusieurs expressions différentes. Lorsqu'on se présente, on dit bonjour, on salue la personne et ensuite on commence à lui parler de soi. Donc, ce sera dire comment tu t'appelles, dire où tu vis, si tu es étudiant, ce que tu étudies ou où tu étudies, si tu travailles quelque part, qu'est-ce que tu fais exactement, tu travailles pour quelle compagnie, etc. Mais une chose qui est importante, c'est de ne pas choisir une expression et se focaliser seulement là-dessus. Parce que vous allez vous retrouver dans des situations où vous êtes peut-être à un événement, où vous rencontrez plus d'une personne, et ça fait pas joli ça devient comme une récitation quand vous utilisez tout le temps la même expression. Donc, vous n'allez pas rencontrer quelqu'un et lui dire exactement la même chose. 2 minutes plus tard, vous rencontrez quelqu'un d'autre et dire exactement la même chose. Essayez de vous familiariser avec le maximum d'expressions. Essayez de vous entraîner à prononcer ces mots, à utiliser ces expressions pour pouvoir avoir une variété en fait. Pouvoir, même si ce sont des expressions simples, pouvoir dire bonjour, je m'appelle, par exemple, bonjour, je m'appelle Marlon à une personne et à quelqu'un d'autre dire bonjour, on m'appelle Marlon, bonjour, mon nom c'est Marlon, pour ne pas à chaque fois répéter la même chose. So the useful expressions that I wrote for you guys here is obviously they're going to ask you what's your name, you say my name is, or you can ask them what their name is. You can talk about your nickname. You can say, my name is Dora, but my nickname is D. for example. It makes the conversation interesting. It gives something else to talk about, and it makes you look like you know what you're talking about. You know the language. You can say, people call me Dora, or people call me Dee, or hi, this is Dee. You can also introduce yourself and say, hi, this is Dora, especially if it's on the phone, for example. So if you're calling someone, instead of saying, hello, my name is Dora, you can say, hi, this is Dora. I am calling because I want to set up an appointment with you, for example. Sorry. Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Nice meeting you too. It's important to also remember it's a back and forth conversation, right? C'est pas une récitation où on vient juste dire et parler de soi. On pose des questions aussi et on répond. Donc, so expressions like nice to meet you too. Or if someone says, I live in Libreville, you can say, oh, I live in Libreville too. That's just a way of just showing that you have more than just one vocabulary in your range. So I live in Libreville, I work in, I don't know, I work in tourism, or I study at University of Marbongo. Just get yourself used to these expressions. So the next thing to know that is really important is ending your introduction or ending the conversation. So you meet someone, you greeted them. Hello, good morning, my name is this, I do this, I work there, I do this. And then you don't just walk away, right? Même en français, quand on rencontre quelqu'un, tu t'es présenté, bonjour, je m'appelle tel, je travaille dans tel domaine, etc. Et puis après, tu ne tournes pas juste les talons pour t'en aller. Il faut trouver le moyen de conclure la conversation de manière polie. On ne s'éloigne pas juste comme ça de quelqu'un avec qui on était en pleine conversation. Il faut trouver le moyen de terminer la conversation. Il faut trouver le moyen de dire au revoir ou de se donner rendez-vous pour plus tard. Et donc, c'est des expressions qui sont importantes aussi à connaître. Expressions like, obviously, everybody knows how to say goodbye. You know how to say, it was nice meeting you, or it was nice to meet you. And then you can say, oh, hi. For example, you said, hi, my name is Dora. I work there. Oh, it was really nice to meet you. I hope I'll see you later. Or I hope I'll see you again. Or let's chat later. Or I'm sorry, I have somewhere to go, but it was really nice meeting you. I hope we can talk again some other time. So it's just a nice way of ending the conversation. It's a nice way of excusing yourself also if you don't want to be in that conversation anymore, if you want to go talk to someone else, or if you just have to go. So you can say things like, see you later, see you tomorrow, see you in a few. If you say see you in a few, that means I'll see you in a few minutes, or I'll see you in a few hours. So that means I have to go somewhere, do something now, and then I'll see you later. You can also say things like see you around, which means I'll see you around. For example, if you're working at the same company, that means every day you are bound to meet that person again. So you'll say, okay, it was nice meeting you. I'll see you around. I guess I'll see you around. Or you can say, let's keep in touch. If you want to exchange a business card, you want to exchange numbers, that's when you'll say, oh, you know what? Let's keep in touch. What's your number? What's your email address? What's your Facebook? What's your Instagram? And then once you're done with all that, you can just end it nicely by saying, okay, take care, goodbye, or just saying thank you. And then you can walk away and it looks more professional, it looks more friendly, it looks more polite. So the last thing I wanted to teach you about today is the elevator pitch. So I don't know if some of you know what an elevator pitch is, but basically the concept behind the elevator pitch is that English people feel like you should be ready at all times. If, for example, you were to go to somewhere, a hotel or a bank or wherever, and then you get into the elevator with a famous person or a really important person, someone that you've always wanted to meet, Maybe you work at a big company where the CEO, like the top CEO, is someone that you never see or you never meet him. And you've always wanted to have a conversation with him, to tell him something, to ask him something. And during that time that you are in the elevator with him, that's maybe the only opportunity you have to see or meet or talk to that person. So you have to use that time and have an introduction that is powerful and that you have ready for the moment where you meet that person. So, en français, le concept de l'elevator pitch, c'est un concept anglais selon lequel, en fait, on ne sait jamais qui on va rencontrer dans la vie. Et donc, c'est d'avoir une introduction ou une introduction déjà prête, mais qui soit suffisamment puissante pour que si un jour on se retrouvait à rencontrer quelqu'un d'important, quelqu'un de célèbre dans un ascenseur, sachant que si vous êtes dans le même ascenseur, vous n'allez pas passer plus de 30 secondes, c'est entre 30 secondes et 1 minute, le temps que l'ascenseur arrive à l'étage et que l'un de vous descende. Mais en ce moment-là, si c'est la seule opportunité, si vous vous retrouvez dans l'ascenseur avec, par exemple, Barack Obama, ou si vous vous retrouvez dans l'ascenseur avec le big boss de, je ne sais pas, avec Tony Elumelu, par exemple, ou quelqu'un vraiment que vous avez toujours voulu rencontrer, mais que vous n'avez jamais eu l'opportunité, à ce moment-là, ces 30 secondes ou cette 1 minute que vous avez, vous devez délivrer en fait une introduction, vous devez vous présenter, mais d'une façon qui va faire en sorte que cette personne-là ne va jamais vous oublier et que ce sera votre opportunité d'enfin avoir ce que vous avez toujours voulu avoir en rencontrant cette personne. So, the anatomy of the elevator pitch or the steps of the elevator pitch are, it's similar to introducing yourself. So the first thing, you tell them who you are. You greet, obviously, and you tell them who you are. Hello, my name is Dora again. Or good afternoon, sir, my name is Dora. Then you tell them what you do. You told them who you are, you tell them what you do. So for me, it will be, my name is Dora, I'm an entrepreneur from Gabon, and I work in the tourism industry. I help companies and institutions create strategies for success. So now he knows who you are, he knows what you do. Then the next step is why. So it's to ask yourself, why have you always wanted to meet this person? Or why, this is an opportunity to like make a connection, right? You can't just meet someone, say, hi, my name is this is what I do, and this is what I want. So you can't just jump to asking them something. You have to establish like a connection. So this is where you'll tell them maybe why you like them, why you're a fan of theirs, why you admire them, or why you've always wanted to meet them. You can use that opportunity to flatter their ego. You can be like, I've always been a fan of your work, or I've read your book, or I've attended one of your conferences, for example. Or if it's a celebrity, if it's a singer, you can say that your album or this song changed my life. You just have to tell them something that they're going to remember, something that's going to be meaningful. And then last but not least is you have to make the ask. Making the ask is asking for what you want. So you've always wanted to meet this person because maybe you want them to invest in your company. So you say that, you find a way to say that. Or maybe this is a big boss from another company that you always wanted to work with. So you say, I've always wanted to work for your company, and I was wondering what's the best way to have a meeting with you, for example. It can be, it doesn't matter, like it can be in a different setting even. It can be that you're a doctor or you're a researcher and you're working on this remedy, for example, for COVID-19, and you meet this big boss of a pharmaceutical company, and then you tell them who you are, what you do, and you're like, I know you are very interested in, I don't know, funding research to find new medication, and I'm working on this medication, so I was wondering if I could meet you, so to tell you more about what I'm working on, to tell you more about my project. Je vais le dire un peu en français aussi. Donc, pour résumer un peu ce que je venais de dire, c'est qu'on a parlé de l'elevator pitch. Et donc, l'anatomie de l'elevator pitch, les étapes de l'elevator pitch, en fait, c'est que pendant les 30 secondes ou les 1 minute où vous allez vous retrouver dans l'ascenseur avec cette personne importante, vous devez pouvoir lui dire qui vous êtes. Donc, vous présentez, comme on l'a vu précédemment, ce que vous faites avec exactitude, avec un peu plus de détails. Vous devez parler du pourquoi. Et le pourquoi, c'est votre opportunité, en fait, de créer un peu le lien entre vous et cette personne-là. Donc, c'est juste, c'est pas genre, vous allez rencontrer quelqu'un et vous allez dire, bonjour, je m'appelle tel, voilà ce que je fais, j'ai besoin d'argent, s'il vous plaît, investissez dans mon business. Ça se passe pas comme ça. Il faut qu'il y ait quand même quelque chose qui donne envie à la personne de continuer la conversation avec vous. Donc, vous allez lui dire, par exemple, que je suis une grande admiratrice de votre travail, j'ai lu votre livre, j'ai participé à une de vos conférences, je sais que vous vous intéressez à ce domaine-là et je travaille aussi dans ce domaine-là. Ou alors, je sais que vous recherchez en ce moment des personnes dynamiques et j'aimerais travailler pour vous, j'aimerais travailler avec vous. Donc, ça, c'est le why. Et enfin, une fois que vous avez fait ça, une fois que vous avez établi cette connexion-là, une fois que vous avez dit quelque chose, soit pour flatter leur ego ou juste pour qu'ils sachent un peu plus sur vous, vous le demandez, vous faites votre demande en fait. Si la demande c'est est-ce que je peux avoir votre carte de visite, vous demandez est-ce que je peux prendre rendez-vous avec vous, est-ce que, je sais pas, tout dépend en fait de ce que vous voulez de cette personne-là. Donc c'est à ce moment-là que vous allez faire cette demande. Et tout ça doit se faire dans l'espace de 30 secondes à 1 minute. So that's the elevator pitch.